Imagine waking up to complete and utter silence. No alarm clock beeping. No car horns outside. No hum of electricity flowing through your walls. Just nothing. That's the moment you realize an electromagnetic pulse just hit your city, and everything you depend on to survive is now completely dead. Welcome back to Human vs. Survival, and today we're exploring one of the most terrifying scenarios that could ever unfold, an EMP attack, and exactly what your next 72 hours would look like if it actually happened. An electromagnetic pulse, or EMP, is essentially a burst of electromagnetic radiation that can fry every electronic device within its radius. We're talking about your phone, your car, your refrigerator, your heating system, your water pumps, your hospital equipment, your power grid, everything. And here's what most people don't realize. This isn't some science fiction fantasy. The technology exists. A high-altitude nuclear detonation or a specially designed EMP weapon could disable an entire region, or even an entire country. And the scariest part, the United States government has published official reports acknowledging this exact threat. So let's walk through what would actually happen, hour by hour, if an EMP went off right now. Hour 0. The pulse hits. For most people, they wouldn't even feel it. That's the terrifying part. You might be driving your car, and suddenly the engine dies. You're sitting at work, and every light goes out. You're at home, watching TV, and the screen goes black. For the first few minutes, people would assume it's just a power outage. No big deal, right? We've all experienced those. But then minutes turn into an hour, and nothing comes back online. Your phone won't turn on. Your car won't start. The traffic lights are dead, creating instant chaos on every street. This is when the first wave of panic begins. Hour 1 through 4. This is the confusion phase. Emergency services are overwhelmed. People are calling 911 on landlines. Oh wait, those don't work either without electricity. Hospitals are running on backup generators, but those generators won't last forever. Fuel pumps at gas stations are electronic, so no one can get gas. ATMs are dead, so people can't access their money. Grocery stores' electronic doors won't open, and the registers don't work anyway. But here's the thing. Most people still think this is temporary. They're not panicking yet. They're just waiting. Waiting for the power to come back on like it always does. Hour 4 through 12. Reality starts to set in. It's getting dark, and there are no streetlights. Hospitals are making tough decisions about which patients they can keep alive with limited generator power. Refrigerators everywhere are warming up, and all that food is beginning to spoil. Water treatment plants require electricity to pump water, so clean water is becoming scarce. People are starting to realize this isn't a normal outage. Some are breaking into stores for supplies. Others are hoarding water from their bathtubs. Car accidents are piling up because traffic lights are gone, and visibility is nearly 0. Emergency rooms are packed with injuries from accidents and panic-induced heart attacks. Hour 12 through 24. This is when survival instinct kicks in. It's been half a day with no power, no communication, no running water, and no clear answers about what happened. Rumors are flying. Some people think it's a terrorist attack. Others think it's a solar flare. Nobody knows. And that uncertainty is almost as dangerous as the actual crisis. People are getting desperate. Looting begins in earnest. Hospitals are making impossible triage decisions. Vulnerable populations, the elderly, the sick, those dependent on electronic medical devices, are in serious danger. A diabetic whose insulin refrigerator is now warm is facing a life-or-death situation. Someone on a ventilator is running out of time, and there's absolutely nothing they can do about it. Day 2, 24 to 48 hours in. The water situation is critical. Most municipal water systems have stopped flowing. People are drinking from questionable sources, rivers, pools, anywhere they can find water. Dehydration is becoming a real threat, especially for children and the elderly. Sanitation is breaking down. Without working toilets, disease becomes an immediate concern. Hospitals have exhausted their backup generator fuel. Medications that require refrigeration are useless. Surgeries have stopped. The death toll is rising, and it's not from the EMP itself. It's from the collapse of everything that depends on electricity. Food is now a critical issue. Grocery stores have been picked clean. Restaurants can't cook. Farms can't operate their equipment. People are getting hungry, and hunger makes people do desperate things. Day 3. 48 to 72 hours. By now, society is fracturing. There's no information. There's no authority figure telling people what's happening or what to do. The government can't communicate because all their systems are down. Military bases are struggling to function. Law enforcement is overwhelmed, and in many cases, just trying to survive themselves. Gangs are forming. People are defending their homes with whatever weapons they can find. Some neighborhoods are organizing, creating their own security and rationing systems. Others have descended into chaos. Violence is increasing. Desperate people are doing desperate things to feed their families and protect their loved ones. Hospitals are now operating in crisis mode, performing only emergency surgeries by candlelight. The death toll from preventable causes, infections, dehydration, medication withdrawal, is climbing exponentially. Now, here's how you actually survive this nightmare. First, you need water, and I mean a lot of it. Store at least 1 gallon per person per day for drinking and sanitation. That's not negotiable. Second, food that doesn't require refrigeration or cooking. Canned goods, dried fruits, nuts, protein bars, anything shelf-stable. Third, a battery-powered or hand-crank radio so you can receive emergency broadcasts if they resume. Fourth, a first aid kit and any prescription medications you need is for at least a month. Fifth, cash, physical money. When ATMs and card readers are dead, cash is the only currency that works. Sixth, a way to purify water. Boiling water requires fuel, so invest in water purification tablets or a quality water filter. Seventh, a plan. Know where your family will meet if you're separated. Know which neighbors you can trust. Know where safe water sources are in your area. And eighth, alternative light sources. Flashlights, candles, matches, lighters. Darkness is disorienting and dangerous. But here's the real survival tip that most people miss. Community. The people who survive catastrophic events aren't the lone wolves hoarding supplies in bunkers. They're the ones who build networks, who share resources, who organize with their neighbors. Start now. Get to know the people around you. Identify skills in your community, medical training, construction, farming knowledge. Build relationships before crisis hits, because when everything collapses, those relationships become your lifeline. An EMP attack would be the most devastating event most of us could ever experience. But it's not inevitable, and you're not helpless. Start preparing today. Build your supplies, build your community, because when everything goes dark, the people who survive aren't the lucky ones. They're the prepared ones. Stay safe out there.